Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes a lion safari at Gir Wildlife Sanctuary in Gujarat for World Wildlife Day, reiterates commitment to protect and preserve India's biodiversity. UK, France proposed partial one-month Ukraine truce at London summit. Russia says it was not aimed at achieving peace, as funding pledges from European leaders will cause the conflict to drag on. And Anora, the story of a sex worker, sweeps Oscars with 5 awards, including Best Actress, Director and Film. Our top story on World Wildlife Day today. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi took a lion safari at the Gir National Park in Gujarat. It is well known as home to the majestic Asiatic lion. The Prime Minister was seen clicking photographs while standing in the safari vehicle where he witnessed families of lions. On social media platform, PM urged citizens to visit Gir in the future. PM also said, and I quote him, "In the last many years, collective efforts have ensured that the population of Asiatic lions is rising steadily. Equally commendable is the role of tribal communities and women from surrounding areas in preserving the habitat of the Asiatic lion." Unquote. Later on the micro-blogging site X, PM Modi shared some of his clicks saying, and I quote, "Lions and lionesses in Gir." As part of his visit to the Gir National Park, Prime Minister participated in the tree plantation at Singh Southern campus in Gir. PM Modi also chaired the 7th meeting of the National Board for Wildlife at Sasangir, underscoring PM Modi's unwavering commitment to wildlife conservation. The PM also laid the foundation stone of the National Referral Centre at Junagadh. This facility will serve as a crucial institute in monitoring and preventing diseases that pose a serious threat to the Asiatic lion. During his visit, Prime Minister launched the 16th Asiatic Lion Census 2025 initiative and released a report on the population of river dolphins in India. He also announced the setting up of a Centre of Excellence in Coimbatore for human-wildlife conflict management. PM also interacted with the forest staff at Sasangir, recognizing their efforts and discussing ways to enhance on-ground conservation strategies. So Gir National Park in Gujarat is a conservation success story. Once on the brink of extinction, the Asiatic lion population has risen from just 20 in 1913 to over 674. DD India's Taposh Bhattacharya with this report from Ground Zero.
Deep in the heart of Gujarat lies a sanctuary like no other, the Gir National Park, the last refuge of the majestic Asiatic lions. Once on the brink of extinction, these big cats numbered just 20 in 1913 due to hunting and habitat loss. But thanks to the conservation efforts, Gir has become a wildlife sanctuary in 1965, and today over 674 lions roam freely in the protected paradise. Gir is not just a park, it's a testament to resilience. Indian Forest Department, along with the local communities, has played a crucial role in safeguarding these lions. Rescue operations, habitat preservations and anti-poaching measures have made this a global conservation success story. From dense forests to open grasslands, Gir is a thriving ecosystem, home to leopards, crocodiles and over 300 bird species. As dawn breaks, the roar of the Asiatic lion echoes through the wilderness, a powerful reminder of nature's ability to bounce back. With cow-personship, this is Tapush Bhattacharya for DD India from Gir National Park in Gujarat.
Belgium King Philip's sister, Princess Astrid, is on a 7-day official visit to India, leading a delegation of 335 members and 180 companies. On Monday, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh met Princess Astrid and his counterpart Theo Franken in New Delhi. The leaders discussed issues related to the regional security and the possibility of defence engagements in the Indo-Pacific. India's External Affairs Minister also met Princess Astrid of Belgium. External Affairs Minister expressed confidence that Princess Astrid's visit will foster greater collaborations for a stronger India-Belgium and India-EU partnership. Earlier, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Belgium's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Maxime Prevot at Hyderabad House in New Delhi, highlighting strong ties. Dr. Jaishankar emphasized the potential for a more contemporary partnership focusing on semiconductors, AI, clean energy, research and innovation.
Our relations, of course, have always been good. Belgium was one of the first European countries to establish an embassy in independent India. Today has the possibility of growing in a more contemporary format. We are discussing, semiconductors and AI and clean energy and research and innovation.
India's Communications Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia will represent India in the Mobile World Congress 2025 in Spain's Barcelona. The minister will also unveil the curtain raiser of India Mobile Congress 2025 and inaugurate the Bharat Pavilion at the MWC, one of the world's largest and most influential technology and telecommunications events, starting Monday. During his visit, Scindia will engage with global industry leaders, policymakers and innovators to explore cutting-edge developments in 5G, artificial intelligence, 6G, quantum and next-generation mobile technologies. The event will serve as a platform for discussing key trends shaping the mobile industry and will spotlight India's digital ambitions. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has called upon the citizens to contribute wholeheartedly to the welfare of the soldiers and their families, terming it as national duty of every citizen. He was addressing the Armed Forces Flag Day Corporate Social Responsibility or CSR conclave in New Delhi today. Rajnath Singh lauded the contribution of India's private sector in realizing the vision of self-reliant India of Prime Minister Modi. He also spoke of the centuries-old tradition of philanthropy that exists in all Indian religions and sects.
आज जो हमारा देश आत्मनिर्भरता की ओर तेजी से कदम आगे बढ़ा चुका है, उसमें मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशन में पब्लिक सेक्टर का भी है, इसको कोई नकार नहीं सकता, लेकिन एक मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशन हमारे प्राइवेट सेक्टर का है, जो कि भारत आत्मनिर्भरता की ओर तेजी से आगे बढ़ा रहा है। और डिफेंस सेक्टर में तो प्राइवेट सेक्टर की भूमिका लगातार बढ़ती चली जा रही है और मैं मानता हूं कि इसको और अधिक बढ़ने की आवश्यकता है।
India's Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, in presence of Rajasthan Chief Minister Bhajan Lal Sharma, inaugurated the 12th Regional 3R and Circular Economy Forum in Jaipur on Monday. As part of the event, the 3R India Pavilion was inaugurated, featuring the International 3R Trade and Technology Exhibition with participation from over 40 Indian and Japanese businesses and startups. A key memorandum of understanding for CIT-IAS 2.0 was also signed, marking a significant step in India's urban sustainability initiatives. The forum will adopt the Jaipur Declaration for 2025 to 2034, a non-political, non-binding commitment to promote resource efficiency and sustainable urban development over the next decade. Speaking on the event, Union Minister Manohar Lal Khattar said that CIT-IAS 2.0 promotes vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
सिटीज 2.0 क्लाइमेट एडेप्टेशन और सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी की दिशा में अगला कदम है। 31 मई 2023 को यूनियन कैबिनेट द्वारा सिटीज 2.0 को मंजूरी दी गई थी। ये कार्यक्रम प्रधानमंत्री के विजन के अनुरूप है, जो स्वच्छ, हरित और आत्मनिर्भर भारत की दिशा में एक महान कदम है।
India's Home Minister and Minister of Cooperation Amit Shah on Monday inaugurated the workshop on sustainability and circularity in dairy sector at Bharat Mandapam. The event focused on sustainable dairy farming and economic growth with environmental responsibility. Key highlights included MOU signings for biogas plants across states, release of guidelines for eco-friendly dairy practices and new financing initiatives under NDDB and NABARD and the Sustain Plus project. Speaking at the event, Union Minister said our dairy sector accelerates the development of the country, but at the same time it has a huge contribution in making the rural areas, landless farmers and small farmers prosperous.
डेयरी सेक्टर एक प्रकार से देश के विकास को तो गति देता ही देता है, परंतु ग्रामीण विकास और भूमिहीन किसान और छोटे किसानों को समृद्ध बनाने में भी इसकी बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। एक और तो ये हमारे देश के पोषण की भी चिंता करता है, देश को दुनिया में एक नंबर का दूध उत्पादक भी बनाने में, गौरव दिलाने में इसका योगदान है। और कृषि के अलावे इतर इनकम जो किसान के लिए बहुत जरूरी है, इसके लिए डेयरी सेक्टर बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
And elephant processions are an integral part of religious festivals in India, but a series of elephant attacks have once again raised questions on animal cruelty and public safety. After the recent incidents, PETA India has come up with an unconventional solution, that is robotic elephants. DD India's Yash Chaturvedi reports.
Many festivals and religious rituals in the southern Indian states are incomplete without elephants. But the celebrations have often turned into a tale of disaster as the animal went berserk, resulting in tragic consequences. In the last 1 month alone, elephant attacks have claimed 5 lives and injured several others in Kerala. The latest incidents have reignited the debate on the ways to keep the festivities safe without diluting the sentiments. The answer to a complex religious riddle have been delivered by science, a robo-elephant. Made of fiberglass, rubber and iron frames, the mechanical elephant can move their ears and tails. Some models can even carry up to 4 people during processions. Animal rights activists argue that these robots align with religious traditions. Last year, one temple in Kerala introduced Raman, a robotic elephant. India is home to nearly 60% of the Asian elephant population, a species classified as endangered. With shrinking forests, human-elephant conflicts are rising. Official data shows 629 people were killed by elephants across India in 23-24, while 121 elephants died due to human-related causes. The project is still at developmental stage with many temples. Temple authorities and devotees are yet to form up plans to give up animals permanently and adopt the move to mechanical elephants. But the makers of another novel offer for those keen on an elephant at their weddings, models can be rented without the cumbersome permits required for a costly real one. Bureau Report, DD India.
Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen aims to rearm Europe 2 days after a disastrous clash between Zelensky and Trump. Ajinkya Rahane to lead KKR in 2025 edition of the IPL beginning March 22nd. And Croatians flocked the streets enjoying the traditional Rijeka carnival.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. France and Britain are proposing a partial one-month truce between Russia and Ukraine that would not cover ground fighting. However, the truce would cover air, sea and energy infrastructure attacks. The UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced a 4-point plan to work with Ukraine to end the conflict and defend the country from Russia. UK Prime Minister did not state which countries had agreed to join this coalition of the willing, but said that those who had committed would intensify planning with real urgency. He said UK would back its commitment with boots on the ground and planes in the air.
First, we will keep the military aid flowing and keep increasing the economic pressure on Russia to strengthen Ukraine now. Second, we agreed that any lasting peace must ensure Ukraine's sovereignty and security, and Ukraine must be at the table. Third, in the event of a peace deal, we will keep boosting Ukraine's own defensive capabilities to deter any future invasion. Fourth, we will go further to develop a coalition of the willing to defend a deal in Ukraine and to guarantee the peace.
Speaking at a news conference, Starmer also announced an additional $2 billion of UK export finance to buy more than 5,000 air defence missiles. This comes on top of £2.2 billion loan to provide more military aid to Ukraine backed by profits from frozen Russian assets.
And today I'm announcing a new deal which allows Ukraine to use £1.6 billion of UK export finance to buy more than 5,000 air defence missiles, which will be made in Belfast, creating jobs in our brilliant defence sector. This will be vital for protecting critical infrastructure now and strengthening Ukraine in securing the peace when it comes.
The summit of 18 leaders showed European unity at an extremely high level not seen for a long time. It comes 2 days after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's White House meeting with US President Donald Trump ended in acrimony. World leaders have offered a strong show of support to the Ukrainian leader and promised to do more to help his nation. The European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has said that the bloc will propose a plan to rearm Europe this week. That comes after a summit of European leaders on Ukraine and defence in London on Sunday, 2 days after that disastrous clash between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump on Friday. And DW correspondent Chiponda Chimbelu joins us from Berlin with more. Chiponda, how does all of this affect the EU?
Well, most EU leaders are united in their bid for the bloc to continue supporting Ukraine, but there are two exceptions. Now, the leaders of Hungary and Slovakia, both the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban and Slovakia's PM Robert Fico, weren't at the summit in London. The two leaders are more aligned with Russia on Ukraine. Now, Hungary's Orban has said that the EU should follow the example of the Trump administration and have talks with Russia on a ceasefire and peace in Ukraine. And he said that even a day after that disastrous clash in the Oval Office. Now, while the other EU leaders rushed to voice their support for the Ukrainian leader, Orban did the opposite, and of course, so did his Slovakian counterpart. Now, Fico's rhetoric struck an even harsher tone. He said that Slovakia would not give any financial or military aid to Ukraine. Now, to proceed in unity, the EU needs all its 27 member states to agree. So that is something that we will need to watch out for on Thursday when the European Commission presents its proposal to rearm Europe.
And Chiponda, also, what can we expect from EU-US relations?
Seen is the realization that European countries will need to do most of the heavy lifting when it comes to defense. And that while the US remains a partner, the transatlantic relationship is changing Washington wants more in return and expects the EU to raise its game when it comes to defense. And the Trump administration isn't stopping there, of course. It is also putting pressure on the bloc with the threat of tariffs. Now, the White House has threatened to impose 25% tariffs on EU exports to the United States. And in response, Brussels has also said it is prepared to respond with its own list of American goods to slap with tariffs. Now, differences on the war in Ukraine and, of course, trade are driving a wedge between Brussels and Washington. And, of course, they are also keeping diplomats and markets on edge with wondering what the U.S. president will do next.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for inputs. Moving on, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Monday that pledges made by European leaders at a London summit on Ukraine to increase funding to Kiev, including a $2 billion air defense missiles deal from Britain, will not help bring about a peaceful resolution to the conflict. He further said that the rising tensions between the US and Ukraine shows how difficult it will be to reach a settlement.
Statements were heard over there that funding of Ukraine must be increased. This clearly does not relate to a peace plan, but for the continuation of hostilities. This is our understanding. The rest will depend upon what the peace plan will be developed and brought up for discussion.
And the 97th edition of the Academy Awards, or the Oscars, honoring the best of cinema in 2024, concluded on Sunday, hosted by Conan O'Brien. This year's ceremony was filled with both expected wins and surprising moments. DD India's Diptanshu Kashyap has the details in this report.
The sex worker drama Anura took home this year's Best Picture at the 97th Academy Awards held at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood, Los Angeles. Other notable honors included Best Actress for Mikey Madison. The film's director, Sean Baker, earned 4 trophies, making him only the second person in history to achieve this feat since Walt Disney. Now, this included Best Picture, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Film Editing. Anura also won Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival, making it the 4th film ever to win the top honors at both prestigious ceremonies. The Brutalist, about a Holocaust survivor, took home 3 awards, including Best Actor for Adrian Brody, Best Cinematography for Lowell Crawley, and Best Original Score for Daniel Bloomberg. Brody won his 2nd Best Actor award following his 2002 victory for The Pianist. The Spanish-language musical thriller Emilia Perez won 2 Oscars, Best Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana and Best Original Song for Elmore. The sci-fi epic Dune Part 2 and the fantasy film Wicked each earned 2 awards in the technical categories. Dune Part 2 won for Best Sound and Best Visual Effects, while Wicked claimed Best Costume and Best Production Design. In animation category, Flow won Best Animated Feature, making Latvia's first Academy Award, while In the Shadow of the Cypress won Best Animated Short. In the documentary categories, The Only Girl in the Orchestra took Best Documentary Short, while No Other Land won Best Documentary Feature. Other winners included Kieran Culkin for Best Supporting Actor for A Real Pain, Peter Strumhan for Best Adapted Screenplay for Conclave, and Brazil's Walter for Best International Feature Film for I'm Still Here. Maggie Smith, Gina Rowlands, Chris Christopherson, Gene Hackman, Terry Garr, and Donald Sutherland were among those honored in the Memoriam segment, alongside David Lynch and James Earl Jones. The ceremony was hosted by comedian Conan O'Brien, who also paid tribute to the firefighters who risked their lives during the Los Angeles wildfires in January, calling them heroes. With inputs from Diptanshu Kashyap, DD India.
Sports updates now. Will start with cricket. India defeated New Zealand by 44 runs in their final Group A match on Sunday to set up semi-finals clash with Australia in the Champions Trophy 2025. Chasing 250, New Zealand's strong batting lineup struggled against India's spin-heavy attack. Only Kane Williamson scored 81 runs, playing a well-calculated innings. Captain Mitchell Santner also played some big shots, but he perished while trying to accelerate the run rate. Spinner Varun Chakravarti spearheaded India's bowling attack with a sensational 5-wicket haul. Earlier, Shreyas Iyer led a resilient knock under pressure with 79 runs as India put up 249 for the loss of 9 wickets. The men in blue will look forward to the rematch of 2023 ODI World Cup final against Australia, rooting for a different result this time. Kiwis, meanwhile, will take on South Africa in the second semi-finals on Wednesday. And Ajinkya Rahane has been appointed as the captain of Kolkata Knight Riders for the upcoming IPL season, while Venkatesh Iyer got the vice-captain's post. Rahane expressed his excitement, stating, "Leading KKR is an honour. We have a well-balanced squad and I look forward to working together to defend our title." KKR will begin its IPL 2025 campaign against Royal Challengers Bengaluru at Eden Gardens on March 22nd. KKR has won 3 IPL titles and finished as runner-up in 2021. And Croatians flocked the streets dancing and singing and also enjoying traditional Rijeka carnival on Sunday. Participating groups chose interesting attires as floats for the parade as they moved and grooved to carnival's beats. The parades earned cheers and support from visitors who were equally enthusiastic about being a part to such energetic event.
Vjenčana mlađim snagama pod novim vodstvom, to je to.
Hvala lepo na kostimi, bili ste šesni, bili ste simpatični, bili ste srdačni. Vidimo se in kaletu.
Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.